I believe we are live. Just making sure everything's good, and it looks like it is, other than my second camera rotated a little bit there. Alright, I guess I'll have to keep an eye on that. My setup likes to alter a little bit. Light my incense here. Can't quite see it. Itself out. So, we are sitting down to play a solo tabletop game called Yourself an Allegory. You can find it on itch.io. It is made by Kendon Remstack. It goes by r-remstack on itch.io. I got as part of the reproduction rights bundle. I believe it's still going on, so if you want to support that, it's $5 for a ton of games, and it goes for a good cause. So, you know what? Do it. You can get this game, you can get many other games, 5 e-supplements, so much. So what we're doing today, as I said, I guess I can explain what Yourself is a little bit. As I mentioned, it is a solo kind of exploration of oneself. And kind of seeing what those facets and sides of you. So there is, at the beginning of this, and we will kind of go through step by step, as well as this is a first experience for me, and for anyone who may be interested, could be a first experience learning for you. I'm gonna have to change the music. I was trying to find good meditative music that Twitch will not hit me with muting the channel or anything, but I didn't want one with any lyrics in it. I forgot that one had some music in it. This could actually be nice. Little there. All right, so as I was saying, we will kind of step through the facets of this game, but I suppose I should introduce myself if you're not familiar with my channel or anything like that. I am Natalie, or I go by Ghost. Most places on the internet, my phone is still... It's going to be so annoying. There we go. Hopefully that did it. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that is set. So, as I said, I'm Natalie, go by Ghost on most places on the internet. You can find me with Ghost Candle, which is that tag underneath my chin here. Except for here on Twitch, it's Ghostly Candle, because the name was taken, unfortunately. One day, it depends on if the user ever gives it up. And yeah, I do a mix of art, tabletop, anything and whatever may be going on. That's a variety streamer. All right, that's me. So back to the game at hand. So Yourself, and I'm reading this verbatim here. Yourself is a solo role-playing game where the player records a story based around drawing cards and using the prompts from the included tables. So as you can see on our little screen here, I have a split up tarot deck. So these 4 towards the bottom here are the minor arcana. And this one kind of top center is the major arcana. This is a game where you can utilize tarot cards, but if you don't have tarot cards or a French deck, you can use player cards and substitute the major arcana with the dice. So back to game description. This is a game of introspection and identity. As much as you will not have a set goal or challenge to overcome, instead you will engage in an in-depth character study of who you are, what you feel, and why. And then it goes to say you could always write in third person as to a first person like me or I. So here is the narration part. I lived believing, as I was told, that I was once human entirety. Strong magic held back its influence, but the signs were always there. The illusions have gone thin. I am no longer bound to the lies and know myself a changeling. So as I said, we got our deck here. I have, I'm going to be analog. I like doing notebooks and paper. A little traditional that way when it comes to writing for this kind of stuff for gameplay. And yeah, it talks about alternatives if you do not have a major arcana or a tarot deck to utilize. But we do, so going to be fun. And I'll explain my deck as well for those who might be curious and are tarot deck enthusiasts. So this is a deck by Claire Goodwin. It's the Antique Anatomy Tarot card deck. So I think she might still have available on her site. I also have some of her Oracle cards, and I want to have more. She does them, but they also come in limited supply. So, and incense I'm burning, which is actually going quite quick. In the little copper part, you can't even see it yet because it's still pretty high, but it's going quick. I have Witch's Sabbath. We have a solstice coming up, so I thought it would be appropriate. Made by Madame Phoenix. I got it quite a bit ago. I should check to see if her stuff is active before I say it too much. And I will disclaimer, while we're still early on, I am not sponsored or being paid to do this in any way, much like all my other stuff here. I just enjoy doing this stuff. But if you do ever feel like supporting me at any point, whether during this stream, future streams, after streams, whenever, you can find all the ways to support me down below. All right, so let's see what we can do here. I got my water and a nice little skull. Make sure you always have water with you whenever you're doing stuff, because you're going to get thirsty. All right. So, setup, we separate our deck into 5 suits, which I did. And I did pre-shuffle already. And we're going to draw 2 cards. So we're going to draw a card from the top and a card from the bottom. So our top card, which is our human side. So we have the Lovers, okay. And our bottom card, the Star. Oh, that's an interesting combination. So let's remember that the Lovers is our human side, and the Star is our Fae side. So I'm going to mark that down. Let me just do a new page here. Human side is the Lovers. Fae side, or Changeling side, is the Star. Very cool. So now that we have our human card, this represents who I believed I was. This is my guide of my past and a connection to to humans. The Fae side, the Star, represents a new part of me. It is a guide for the unknown and parts of myself and my connection to the Fae. So you want to keep these cards nearby and draw inspiration from them, their meaning as you answer the questions for each act. You will not return to these cards until into the deck. Okay, so we'll have to remember that. So these will stay kind of, I'll rotate the major. Hopefully everything is still kind of in view. It's not too important if the ones drawn are still in view anymore, but good to know. Okay. So to start our game, draw a card from the correct minor arcana deck. Read over the prompt and draw a card from the major arcana, determining its meaning, then record your response in the prompt. The minor arcana prompt will either give you questions to the answer or a statement about yourself for you to elaborate on. The major arcana represents a response to the prompt. It may be a person you talk to, how you feel about something, a memory, an object. There's no wrong way to interpret this. Feel free to use the traditional meaning, a new meaning, or ideas. Okay, so this will be interesting. I have been a fan of tarot for a very long time. I don't play too often, so some of the meanings are kind of ubiquitous in my brain. So I'll keep it pretty pulling on what I understand the cards as well as seeing what prompts give me. And we got 2 ways to approach our acts when determining the minor arcana. Choose the amount of cards you will draw for each act. The recommended number is 3. Oh, you can always answer more. Okay. The act will always have 1 card. Okay. Writing. Both sides are ourselves, so I'm actually going to draw a line down the middle here. On my book, can't see, so I'll bring it over to my second. I can barely see it, but I split it up. I put my 2 representations, so human, fae, and I'm going to write the rest of it down. So this method, blah, 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 blah. So here's the basic flow. Draw an arcana, read the prompt, draw a major arcana, record entry at the end of the act, shuffle the major arcana. Okay. So Act 1, yourself and reflection, the signs that only made sense in retrospect. So we draw 3 cards. Did it tell me what order to do the minor? Okay, so pentacles, swords, cups, wands. So this is my pentacle. I'm not going to show the cards quite yet because they're quite fun. That's my swords, and I believe this is my cups, and this is my wands. Okay. So I'm guessing because of that, there's like a little star for this chapter. It looks like a coin, so I'm guessing the coins might be our first act here. Or pentacles. Okay. So I know I said I already shuffled them prior, but I'm going to shuffle again. And yes, now I see the little note that says pentacles for this act. So this is a reflection. Something that makes sense in retrospect. So let us see what our 3 cards shall be. A reflection of herself. So first, we have the 4 of coins. Second, we have the 8 of coins, so 4 and 8, so very nice rounded numbers. And our last one is the Knight. Should show off the cards a little bit. So here's our first one. Okay. So with the 4 of Pentacles, or coins in my case for this deck. You have felt you don't belong. You thought yourself an outsider to your own home. Did other people actively make you feel unwelcome, or was this a private feeling? In what ways did you feel alone? How did you deal with these feelings? So, to go with that question, I'm just going to write it down. I'm not going to answer everything quite now. I want to see what all my questions are. I got 8 and night. Our question for 8 is, it seemed the animals all knew. Animals around you acted differently than other humans. How would wild animals react? The pets. Were they overly friendly to you, or were you regarded as danger? So that is our reaction to, or question to this card, our 8. And then for our knight, the knight asks, a talent you have surpassed. You were always too good at something, supernaturally so. You were far better than your peers and impressed your teachers and others. What was it? Something artistic, technical, or perhaps interpersonal. Did you enjoy doing it all or learn to hate it? So this is all... it's all kind of funny, actually. And kind of all connects up. So to start from how we went in retrospect, growing up and stuff, it was very much a hard feeling of kind of not belonging. During public school, there's a lot of where I thought I had friends and they ended up not being friends, towards the point where, as we were going about to go into high school, most of us that were just hanging out together was because there was no one else we could hang out together. There was just the popular kids and then us. So we just kind of accepted our collection. And we didn't really judge each other for it. It was just a state of we respect each other. But beyond that, we probably wouldn't be long-term friends, and that ended up being true. By high school, there's only a couple friends from my public school that came with me. And for the first couple of months, one of the ones that came with me, there's one where we had a pretty tumultuous relationship, so it made it hard. And I think even to this day, there's still a lot of feelings of not belonging. I have found very welcoming spaces, but there's still a lot of, especially going to creative pursuits, which we'll get there with the night question. A lot of like imposed feeling as well, where I understand that people are open to taking me in and wanting that, but the past experience kind of creates that shell. So it is a work in progress to break down. And then our other question was, it seemed animals all knew that they may have acted differently. While going about neighborhoods and stuff, I was always attracted to animals and definitely liked them over humans. And yeah, I would say definitely just walking around, if I see a cat, I would stop and it would very much come up to me. My family cat always, or pet cat, she always knew instinctually if I was ever upset or crying or any of that stuff. She would come in and comfort. So I always had very friendly animals around in my life. And then for night, it hits so bloody hard, okay? The talent is very much creative, art, drawing. I was always told, oh, I'm going to be a great artist when I grow up. Oh, I'm going to be so good. Now, granted, actually getting there as an adult has been another thing entirely. Once you have your other peers in the same spaces and you're challenging each other and giving tips and helping each other, but you're also really trying to get those jobs, and when it's not happening, like, but yeah, for a while, especially in early public schools, I was always that art kid, the one everyone would go to on group projects if we needed art or creative things. Teachers are always impressed by my work too, as well as going through high school. So with all the painting and drawing, I didn't get into digital until practically high school or college. And even then, it took a long time to really get into it well, like I am these days. So yeah, and I think with those kind of reflections, we get to draw upon a major arcana. I believe that's the basic flow. We get it, we prompt to record the entry. I don't know if it was supposed to be per card we draw a major. Maybe it's supposed to be. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what the major arcana has to say about this. So, death. If it was solely for this prompt for you felt like you didn't belong, death isn't a bad card. It is just an end and a beginning. So I think with the draw on this one, especially in terms of reflecting over my life thus far, there has been a lot of ends and beginnings. There's been a lot of friendships I had to let go of, a lot of friendships that I made anew, and continue to building new friends and communities and support around me. So yeah, definitely death is answering this facet of myself, which is that feeling of not belonging, of feeling alone, of dealing with it. It is a cycle. It is a cycle, and it will come back from its end and be something new. So I am going to draw a major arcana per question here. So per prompt. So for our 8, if the animals seem to know, we have the Empress. So the Empress is very much, she is the 3rd card of the major arcana. Well, 4th if you include the Fool. She is a very confident woman, very knowledgeable, lot of leadership, but also very loving, very introspective. So in reference to how other animals and them knowing me or being friendly to me, this is a suggestion of that, yes, they were probably confident in what I was as energy and person towards them. So I think that's what that's referring to for the answer. And then for our Dear Knight, shuffle once more, and we got the Moon. So the Moon is interesting in terms of talents in a surpassed talent. Moon is reflections, it's water, it's emotions, it's creative, it's chaotic. And we can even see if based on the design of these cards specifically, this one has flowers blossoming from the cranium of our skull. And into a ring of spine, which of course the skulls hold our brain. Spine's our main support structure of our bodies. So yeah, I would say the Moon as an answer to the talent suppression, or surpassed. I think it is for sure a kind of a dreamed look at my talents, of seeing it reflected out back to me, and of course all the dreams and wistfulness around all that. So I think the answer from the Moon for this given prompt is very much art having become an introspection of myself through the past, And it was very much enjoyed growing up, and I still enjoy it to this day. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but still an enjoyment. So I do think the moon kind of answers that whole, of it being something artistic. And I find the moon impressive, so yes, something impressive and very interpersonal in a way as well. So let's get these back. I recorded my draws. So in reflection of the two sides, I'm guessing here in the human aspect of myself, there's a lot of definitely that imposter syndrome and self-judgment and withdrawal, I guess. But from the Fey nature sides, there is a willingness to accept that I am very much seen, even when I feel like I'm not. So that's something that probably I just need to be more open to in retrospect, as per the act that we are here for. So that is our Act 1 complete. So let me get our delightful coin cards put away. Do I need a new... Oh, no, I think my copper or iron candle thing stopped it. Yep. Still has a couple inches to burn in there. That or doesn't like being in a copper... or, yeah, a copper cauldron. Smoky incense going. All right. So, Act 2, yourself in clarity, the changes to your body and your feelings towards it. This could be a very interesting one. So this is with the swords. Or in my deck's case, blades. We are a blades deck. So we're going to draw our 3 cards as we did before, and then we will answer with each arcana. This time I probably won't talk about them until I actually draw the major arcana. Okay, I feel like that's shuffled enough. So our first card is the 7 of Blades, swords for your traditional tarot. Which is the oddity of clothing compounds. How is your new body changed the clothing you wear? Do you still try to wear your old things? Do you try something new? What about the clothes you buy don't work for you? Can you even find things that fit? How much of you is what you were? Our next card is Ace of Blades or swords. How does it feel to see your face? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Who do you see? Is it still you? And then our third draw. I think this is 9. I always get lost in my numerals. I'm looking at the number of the actual blades on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is 9. I need to trust myself better. So 9 reads, there's something wrong with your 2 hands. It is something physical. Extra joints. Palm too long. No fingers at all. How does the feeling of touching things change? So, just I said 7, ace, and 9. Okay. We're covering up our major arcana here. So let me draw these and then I'll discuss these prompt questions. Shuffle properly, please. So I do kind of like this because I find tarot in and of itself a game to help with introspection and to think about things. So with this kind of style of game where it is very much that, it's interesting. All right. So to the answer of the oddity of clothed compounds, we have judgment. So let's answer that one. So judgment as our answer to that. This is going to get very personal. All right. So for myself, I've always struggled with my body, especially with weight. And I'm not going to get too in-depth personal on stream because then I'll end up crying. But there's very much a problem in my brain of, you know, there's things I want to wear and a way I want to look. But once I'm in a changing room surrounded by mirrors and I'm standing there just seeing every fold and bumps and, you know, where the fat is sitting on me, and it did very much affect how I felt, for sure. If there were so many clothes that I wished I could have worn and just did not fit right, did not sit right. Even when I tried to go for something new, it just didn't work out. So I definitely went in a judgment in a harsh way towards my body, especially going up through puberty. There was a very rapid change that happened, and it was in high school too, so it was a very hard thing to deal with. I'm just looking up what judgment meaning is. Time when a period of our life comes to an absolute enemy. Okay. So reading that and seeing that this is also has a coffin in it, so judgment almost reads like a conclusion or something. So I definitely had hard conclusions on my body coming through, and how I approach clothing and the like. So it definitely kind of goes in that direction with the major card there. And since we are in this game, we are changeling and a fae as we reflect on that human side of us. Yeah, I don't think the body was strange. It's a strange thing. So our next card is the Ace, which is with the Emperor. So the Emperor, much like the Emperor, is a very confident individual. The meaning of it specifically, just in I think is something that is very secure and stable, able to have a good control, is very self-disciplined. So in this instance, it's answering our Ace card was, how does it feel to see your face? So when we look into the mirror, what do you see? Who do you see? Is it still you? I think here with Emperor, it is still me. I am still very much there. It's always in the eyes, right? Just kind of the soul and heart of a person comes through there. Who do I see? What do you see? I think there are still aspects that is still me when I were to look at my face now as we are drifting over to the Fae side, the changeling that I'm now released into for this game. Yeah, I think there's still a lot of me in the face there as I'm looking at the reflection. Like I said, the eyes are still there. Maybe just the general rounder bone structure is still there. Yeah, and with the Emperor, yeah, I'm confident that it's still me. So now to answer our 9 of blades. The sun. I kind of like that it's like the opposite of the moon. That's a really interesting art choice. I really like that. So the sun is something of happiness and joy, everything coming together, and movement and such. Let's see. Just want to make sure I get deeper meanings just in case if it doesn't make sense with our prompt here. So the sun with our prompt, there's something wrong with your 2 hands. I mean, me as an actual real person, there was always a little bit of double jointedness growing up. I always felt that they were too small. Like I have short fingers or something. Yeah, interesting to have sun as the answer to this prompt because it is very much a card of gratitude and you know good feeling and happy feeling, but we're supposed to figure out what is wrong with my 2 hands. Maybe in that aspect and connecting back to our last chapter. Probably the approach of feeling of art and dealing with it with my hands because now I started life with such a traditional approach to it, now very much digital, so that feeling of change makes a stiffness. And there is very much gratitude to where my hands have taken me, but they are very much showing signs of wear and locking up. So that could be something wrong there. All right. Sure. And sun is recorded. Get them back in the deck. I'll shuffle it in a momento. Put our blades back in. All right. So we are now in Act 3, which is your friends, family, and the Fae. I do find this quite interesting. It's very much like a spread done in stages. That's basically what this game feels like. So I'll shuffle this again once we come back. But let us get to our cards. Let me just make sure. Yes. This deck calls the cups elixirs. That's pretty fun. I like it. So in this act, we are picturing what our connection is to our human friends and family, and then also to our Fae side. And with the cups in particular, it is a very emotional suit, driven by kind of feelings, love, and connections. So let us see what we draw for our 3. We have the 7 of elixirs. And let me just really show you all this. Really, really cute bottles. There's a magical bottle, bat tonic, eye tonic, brain juice, snake oil. It's delightful. Our second, oh, I guess I should read what the prompt was. I said 7, yes. Secluded whispers through unheard. People say things when they think you cannot hear. What are they telling each other? What do you wish you hadn't heard? Okay. Our next card. 1, 2, 3, 6. I think that's 10. Yeah, that's 10. I know what the 10 Gnomon Rule looks like. So 10. Received gifts from a new relation. The Fae brought you a gift. What is it? How do you find it? What do you do with it in return? Okay. And then our last prompt. The Ace of Elixirs, our love potion here. The strange have always found another. The queer have always found each other before they know themselves. One of your friends is also one of the Fae. Are they like you or are they different? Oh, that's an interesting thing in terms of my real life self. So we got 7, 10, and 8. So let's see what our Arcana wishes to say, our major Arcana. So they're all Arcana. One's minor, one's major. Just give it a quick little shuffle. So to answer our first question, people are saying things, they're telling each other things, and we overhear. What is something we have not wished ever? The Emperor. So we already drew that one before. It is of confidence. Something they have said that they think I cannot hear, and maybe I wish I didn't hear it. This is a tough one for me. I usually try not to eavesdrop. Sometimes I do overhear things, just because things carry through the house, but... Okay, well, with the Emperor, this is probably something positive. Maybe something in relation to the good things about myself. I'm trying to think of things I've heard that... This is a hard prompt for me. I don't know how I can respond to that. What are they telling each other? What do you wish? I guess if I were to try and put this more as a game as opposed to referencing my full real self here. Well, with the Emperor answer, let me just look up a deeper meaning for this so that maybe I can do this. So as much as the Emperor is something of a confidence, because it is a very controlled card, maybe that is something I can pull from this. Like, I've always overheard especially when I was really, really little, not being part of the crowd, not joining up with other people. And when I was super little, I was very much a selective mute. So that did make it hard and did very much make me odd compared to everyone else. And that does carry over. I know it's kind of weird with me streaming here, face full display, talking without anyone else around. But I still struggle a lot in through that. And it is something point at people have always said, you know, she she's very, very quiet, or when I was little, very, very shy. So as an answer for overhearing something, yeah, I was very much a rule follower for it being emperor, so maybe just hearing how I might be a little not as flexible as one could be. I have overheard that before. That maybe I was a little too controlled in myself. Yeah, that could be the how to interpret that answer to that prompt. So our other prompt here, let's draw that. Ooh, temperance. What is this? Okay, hold on. I haven't played with this deck for a really long time. There's a little thing right here. Annual meeting at the O'Sullivan Theater. February. Ooh, speaker, song, and music. Okay. So the temperance is in our answer to the 10 of elixirs here, which was received gifts from a new relation. The Fae have brought you a gift. What is it? How did you find it? What do you give in return? Oh, so temperance is an easy, blah, blah, not easy, interesting one. Temperance. Well, if we were to go just strictly based on the card art, definitely some sort of like communion togetherness coming. Let me see if I can find a good interpretation of the Temperance Tarot card. Temperance. Where is my little box? There it is. Come here, box. I do have a thing here. I don't know if it goes into the major arcana. A little bit, okay. Sagittarius, moderation. Okay, so that's the keyword, moderation. So probably in terms of a gift I would receive from a fae, moderation. Probably the gift would be maybe our gift from our fae is more of a skill they show me, as opposed to something physical. So they show me how to be moderate in the different aspects of myself now becoming into this changeling to no, I don't have to go full headstrong 100% into it. That I can take it bit by bit. I think that seems like an interesting gift for a fae to give me, is that idea based on what our temperance is telling us. A gift of moderation. All right, and then our last answer to our ace elixir, the Hermit. So to repeat what our ace card was for the prompt, the strange have always ways to find each other. The queer have always found each other before they know themselves. One of your friends is also one of the fae. Are they like you, or are they different? This is interesting. If I'm to draw on real experience. And from my tags on here on Twitch, you would see that I have like asexual as my tag. Before I became solidified in that, it took a very long time. Like, I'm talking the last couple of years, I've come to really solidify that is where my attraction and emotions lie in terms of that. But I've had a lot of friends who ended up in that category, into varying underneath that umbrella, all the way from high school to recently. And they were much more confident in what they believed themselves to be compared to me. And yeah, I definitely had more than one friend as a part of this. Which is interesting because as a hermit is pretty straightforward in what it is. It's, going into sort of isolation and contemplation of oneself in a phase of retrospect. Which I do feel that with our prompt here, with friends and stuff, I think they definitely gave me that sort of opportunity to reflect on what it means for me to enter queer spaces and discover who I am and what I am. And there's still so much discovery to go as I learn more and more from friends as they go through their journeys, as I meet up with people who are very confident in where their journey has taken them. And yeah, I have friends that are very much like me in our states, as well as having friends who are very much in different reflections, but the experiences overlap in our journey. So I feel that's what the hermit is telling us, is that we've definitely had an introspective through our friendships that brought about that. So let us put that back in there and put away our elixirs. Oop, I picked up a blade by accident. All right. I did not write my card down. So it was Emperor, Temp, and Hermit. All right. Fourth act. Yourself and prospect, the encroaching of the future. And this is with wands. So for me, with this deck, wands are rods. I guess I didn't explain this tarot deck quite enough. I think I said the name. But it uses anatomy and tools of classic, or not classic, but older medicines, Victorian medicines. So rods are like these elongated tools and screws and such. So pretty fun. All right. So through this act, this is our seeing ourselves in the future. So we saw ourselves in retrospect. We looked at our bodies. What shell we left behind coming to a changeling. We reflected on our friendships, both human and fae. Now we must wonder upon our future and how our things may change across that time. So we have the Ace of Rods. Or no, this is the Knight, sorry. I just saw Suit Rods and I thought it was Ace. This is Knight. It's right there. So Knight asks, through hardships, fledgling ties do bloom. You've made new connections. Who are they and how will they help you? Where do you see these relationships going in the future? So that's what that prompt is. Our second one is the Eight of Rods. It's a very lovely flower. 8 says, you brim with question and concerns. You still have questions for the Fae. What are they? How will you find them? And what are you willing to sacrifice for answers? And then our final card, 4 of Rods. So Rods says, do you still feel your home is here? Will you stay where you are? Where will you go? Where will you think you are most happy? So Let's start with that knight and shuffle up our arcana. So focusing on our through hardships, fledgling ties do bloom. Our new connections, new friends, and what will these relationships do for us in our coming future? So, helps if I properly shuffle here. I'm used to having the deck full, so having just a thin slice of it is a little tricky. All right, so our answer to that prompt. Ooh, the Hanged Man. That's interesting. So the Hanged Man, if I'm to base it off of I have a little booklet to give me a little word prompt here. The Hanged Man is introspection. So as an answer for this night, I think for how these ties through these hardships come about and where they go, they definitely give a lot of introspection. And in these new spaces that I've been approaching and joining, yeah, there is a lot of thought coming in as I am taking in these experiences from other folk, connecting up with others that are have similar aspects to me, or at least similar interests that lead to having connections on other levels. And it's very much reflecting on what it is I want to do as a person, what it is that I want to achieve, what my goals are, and where I want to go with that. So it's a very fluctuating thing, but connecting up with people is helping me kind of try and bring it all into a more controlled focus. And at least is giving me a place of just safe exploration. So definitely, hey man, definitely telling me that these ties are helping me reflect on all that and look into myself and explore that. So for our 8 of Rods, we brim with questions and concerns. So what we want to ask the Fae or know of the Fae, willing to sacrifice for answers. So here we have, oh, this is pretty cool. Apologies if you have any issues with bugs or snakes or, yeah, so this is a trigger warning. I forgot this was a thing. This also has, this card has teeth in it. So let me cover that because I know that's an issue for some people. Maybe not that die. What can I use here? Okay. Spiders and snakes we can get over, but I know that teeth thing is hard for people. So, High Priestess. So our High Priestess, the little word choice I have here is intuition. So High Priestess is a very intuitive card. A woman tapped into emotion. Her, whatever planetary things is moon, which is very much a ruler of emotions and dreams and all that stuff. So what are you willing to sacrifice? So as an answer to our questions and concerns towards our Fae, how will we find them, connect with them? We're being told that our answer is utilize our intuition. As you reach out and follow those pulls of just intuitive threads that reach out to them, you'll be able to find the Fae once more, and I will be able to find them and connect with them, and kind of enter that dreamscape of the Fae, so that we may, if I have any further concerns, I can reach out to them. So I keep forgetting to write these down, so hold on, Hangman. And this is 8 and High Priestess. All right. Now for our 4, let's see what the answer to 4 is. Okay, this is the 3rd time now we got Emperor. Interesting. Do you still feel your home is here? Can you stay where you are? Where will you go? Where do you think you will be most happy? In terms physically, I want to get out of my town. I'm very confident in that choice. But I think in everything else, how do I interpret Emperor as an answer? Let me see if I can get further. My little booklet says Emperor is structure. I guess I'm... how to interpret this? I mean, there is a certain structure and pattern that I have here. But it's not quite enough. It's kind of that structure that I seek, which in my current state isn't quite there yet. So as much as I am that this is my home and I am in basically my home that I came from the hospital for too, there is a bigger structure out there that I wish to get into and capture and be a part of. Something that keeps me in a rhythm and in a pattern that I seek out naturally, just to kind of connect to that and be able to not necessarily be told what to do, though I like having a structure of something when approaching work and such. But I'm also someone that can manage and organize, so having that space to do that is definitely a longing for, because when I'm left to my own devices, unless I fully commit like I do for this, it gets overwhelming where I'm trying to build too many things at the same time. Where I keep trying a different structure after a different structure and just doesn't get anywhere. So, yeah, I feel confident in what that interpretation of that answer is. So let me get the scary multi-tooth card off. The bugs are one thing. Eyeball is a little... It's okay. It's not like anything was poking it, but I know the teeth thing is very much... I was okay with it, but just in case other people are not and they are enjoying the cards but don't want to see that. Thank you, little black bag. All right. So overall, I should have done an overall for the whole acts, or all the acts, but for this one being a future act, there's definitely an overall thing of finding structure and entering into something based on tuition. So now for our final act is you, yourself in eternity. Something fell. So we take our 2 sides, which I didn't even explain our 2 sides here other than human and fae. So the lovers, desire and choice. So there's a lot of desires and things that I want in life, and for sure, a lot of the things I desire and want as a mortal human in life. And then, ooh, this card is missing actually from my little booklet. So let me quickly look that up before we shuffle everything in. The star. I have vague memory of what the star means. Renewed hope and faith. So our fae side is very much telling us of this, have hope, have faith, you're blessed. We will have a very peaceful and loving phase as a Fae entity. So that is what our Fae is telling us. So our human is very much full of desire. Our Fae is very much full of hopefulness and dreaming. So now we take them, put them back into our deck. And as such, we're going to have to move our minor. And I need a drink because it's been over an hour and I haven't had a drink and I was burning incense, so. A drink by the final act. All right. So here is what I'm reading from the mechanics of the game. We spread out the major arcana along the table face down. Fan it on your, or you can fan it on your hands, but the backs must be facing towards me. Select which card calls to you, then answer the corresponding prompt. Okay, I think that's shuffled enough. So let us put this out here. And let's see. I'm not going to look at the cards. I'm not going to look at my OBS so I don't see my hand over the cards. Just gonna, I feel this one, whatever this one is. The Hierophant. What does it mean to be yourself? The choice is yours to make. So us entirety is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is one of like scholarly pursuits. Tradition, as my card says here. Myself entirety. Here, let me look up a good full description on this. It stands for tradition and convention. It can represent marriage and arranged setup. It can also mean teacher or counselor who will help in learning education of the court. Yeah, I would say as a prompt slash answer to this, as myself in entirety. Yeah, I've always been one of into education and learning, and I've also been one who loves to share that. I really enjoyed tutoring when I was going through school, as in I was tutoring my peers, other people looking for help on their assignments and such, and understanding the classes. So that was, I'd say myself as an entire person being able to take in lessons and share lessons is definitely something, very much something that is representative of me. So to read the Hierophant as that, it's traditional, like the classic tarot shows as like a saint, not a saint, I would say. Creating alliances, yep, I would definitely try to reach out. Inspiration, definitely. So yeah, all that learning and such. Ooh. So the Hierophant was our final answer to ourselves in our entirety. All right, so overall, our lessons this game has brought us upon ourselves Um, we have reflected on ourselves. We are very confident in our creativeness and the like, and as well as going through cycles in terms of how we see ourselves in our body. The physical, that gets to a sensitive touchiness for me, but there is a very much a dissonance, a disconnect in how I want to see myself and what is actually there. But when I look into my face, I do see my true self in it. And then with our connection with our friends and relationships, there's a lot of churning of entering new places and making new connections, and following that intuition to always, or to being able to follow back to those connections. And then seeing our future as something that we're able to incite upon and have confidence in, that we can eventually get there, that we desire the structures and we are going to chase after that. And then finally, our entirety of it is that hierophant, to bring our lessons, to take in lessons, share it, connect with everybody, as we are doing here right now, as I am learning this game and sharing that experience with you. And yeah, what's our time? Almost an hour and 20. So that is our game. It does say in the early descriptions of these games that it could be done in an hour. Probably if you weren't streaming like I am, it would for sure within that space, but yeah. So, my experience with this game now that we have finished and run through, as someone that uses tarot very much for introspection and reflection and to help me think through my emotions a little bit when I have no one else, like when I do have a problem not talking to people, I do find this a very interesting thing. Like, I really during this play put much of myself into it, especially when it hit towards the act 2 of how we connect, or that connection with body, like our physical body. Yeah, it does hit some things, which can be a little scary, and and sharing that vulnerability on stream. So if that's something you think you'd have a hard time with, maybe don't stream it like I did. But this is a game of introspection and identity, it says in one of the paragraphs. And the character study of who you are and what you feel and why. So would I recommend this game? As this coin is flipped up, says yes. Yes, I would. I think it's just a good thing, and anyone who plays with tarot cards may feel this way too. But it's just it's almost like playing with a soundboard. A lot of people will, we talk with our friends or vent to them, or we talk with therapists about what's going on, trying to work through any emotions or thoughts or feelings, whether past, present, or future. So I find with tarot cards specifically, and going through spreads or like a game like this, gets you to think a little bit. Maybe opens you up a little bit more to what it is you're stuck upon, even if it doesn't make sense for the moment. Like there's a couple times we saw during my play, I had a hard time deciphering what the answer could possibly be referring to for a certain prompt. And it does become very personal. Like you can know what the cards are, like what their meanings are, and all the traditional things of it, but to connect that with the prompts and how it reflects upon you, whether human or fae, was very, very interesting. So I would recommend that if you ever need a moment to kind of go through, take time, almost like in a meditative sort of space. Just kind of enter that. The name of the game is on screen here, Yourself, an Allegory. It is a game made by Ken Caden. I hope I said that correctly. Caden Ramstack. You can find this game on itch.io. One of the few games called Yourself, so an easy search for there. It is part of the reproductive rights bundle. So you can get this along with many other games for $5. Lots of really good stuff in it. And I actually hope to play more solo games from that collection and maybe join other folks for other stuff. I've signed up for so many things to join in on. So let me read the little end there that says acknowledgements and thank you for playing. So this game was made in memory of Animanus, copyright Samantha Lee, and used under the Creative Commons. Angelic and tech. Okay, so that's text. Okay. So here's a nice little acknowledgement too here for the author. So the author would like to acknowledge that most changeling legends are rooted in the ableist belief that children with disabilities were not considered as humans, which led to the abuse and infanticide. These stories do not take into account the perspective of children. So that's just a reflection because of the word choicing of using changeling as our word for fae self and changing over from human to fae. I just wanted to touch upon that wording, which is true. A lot of there's a lot of folklore around that that is based on like fears and just misunderstandings and lack of education of the time. And to an extent still happens to this day. Like when we hear about people that have albinoism, they're still in some cultures of the world seen as these oddities, essentially. So there's still a lot of ableism around in that essence in the world. So something to keep in mind as well. But yes, so thank you for this lovely little introspective game, Caden. I really hope I'm saying that right. I did mention where to find them on itch, but you can also find them on Twitter. I believe it's just the whole name. Let me double check. Yes, so Caden is spelled Kaden, and then their last name Ramstack, Ramstack. So they are a writer, illustrator, all that stuff. So if you like this game, that's how you can find them on Twitter. And I already mentioned how to find them on itch.io. So thank you so much for joining me on this little introspective, this little game I wanted to play while my usual D&D game, which would have been already an hour in-ish at this point. We took a break. So, which is fine. Our DM is in another country. Which sometimes that's what you gotta do. So, I don't know if anyone has anything they want to say to me at this time. This can be a little bit of a just chatting before I completely sign off. Watch me use this little... I'm so sad the store I got this from no longer exists, but they got... their stuff wasn't too quality by the end. Wow. Let me snuff out my candle, my little candle snuffer. Made of iron, because fairies can't touch iron. Put that back in my copper cauldron. That's nicely patinaed. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by, Dawn. Hope you come back for the, see what we kind of played through here. I think you might like this game, too, to play on your own, since I know you're a tarot card user. It's basically just each act is a series of spread, like a spread of 3 minor followed by your 3 arcana, so I think you might enjoy it. Yeah, and everything's dropping. Worked pretty hard on this layout too. Came up with something fun, something a little different for how my camera is. And I figured out this is using my phone, this side camera. Which, hey, maybe if I ever do tarot readings, this could be my setup. Or drawing'd be a little harder because I'd have to move it in front of me, which I'm at a desk. There's only so much space, so. Oh, nice. I don't need two cameras. Yeah, so the program I'm using, you have to have the app for your phone and then on your computers. So it is IV Cam. That's IV Cam. And it was actually a really quick connection. It does have a watermark up in the corner, but because of how I set up my phone, I was able to crop it out in OBS, so it didn't matter. So if you need a dual cam setup on the cheap, thankfully, because what happened in the world for the past 2 years, a lot of apps came out for phone stuff, so. I was trying to figure it out because I also got a little camcorder really early on when I thought I was going to, I still need to do it. I got to kick myself into doing it when I was going to do my series of traditional art, the art on the budget stuff. So now I can probably use my phone because my phone is still better quality than that camera. So glad to figure that out. Also, you should do tarot readings on stream. That could be fun. Yeah. I could do like, oh, when to do it. Maybe a Friday afternoon, just for an hour, because I have Fridays. Well, I guess I could also do Monday afternoon too, and Monday's a good day to do like reading of the week sort of thing. Shifting my OBS so I'm not like looking the other way. I can look straight on at y'all and pretend I'm looking at you, even though I'm actually looking at my face in OBS. Yeah, tarot reading could be nice because then I don't have to worry. Like I can, with the way it's set up, when I'm turning, it looks like I'm looking over at my cards on screen as well as in life. So, that's helpful. Smolder, yeah. Hey, I got this fun little setup too. Like I got, this actually goes with the thing that's behind me here. This is a blanket, which I may keep up from now on. I kind of like, I like it there. I got this from Fiendies before they kind of took a massive break because they were burning themselves out. It was just two artists that were doing kind of pagan themed stuff. Yeah, it's a throw blanket. It's a throw blanket, so I may keep it up. I had it as like on the wall in my bedroom because I have no headboard. I was like, okay, well, I feel like I need something, but I kind of like it here. But yeah, I got that, and when I ordered it, because they're going out of business sale, I got this nice kind of celestial reading thing. So really, if you ever want to like throw ruins or something on it, it's really nice. And of course, all my candles. I thought I needed a D6. That's why the metal D6 is here, but I didn't, so I'm gonna put it back. Yes, altar cloth. That's the word I'm looking for. Really nice altar cloth. And I think it was also this coin I got it with too, the yes no coin. So. And Dawn, since you're here, you probably were noting these really fun cards. I think they're still available from the person. The Antique Anatomy Tarot, Claire Goodchild. I also got a bunch of, not a bunch, but at least 3 of her Oracle decks. Which I really don't use often enough. I should really use them often. So she's got these Oddity decks, and they're illustrated very much like, kind kind of those almost old Victorian medical anatomy style. So it's the skeletons and body parts. So I got first, second, and third edition here, and they all have something different in them, which is nice. So whenever you get a new edition, you don't have to worry about doubles too much. So yeah, here's these really cool ones. There's birds, she adds animals, snakes, flowers is a big theme with these ones. Some of them get a little interesting, like here's a conjoined twin. And I did mention like that one card with like dozens and dozens of teeth in it. Here's a beautiful one with black roses, just the two femurs and black roses. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. This one with kind of bird wings for angel wings. And it also does like actual kid anatomy. So the giant has skulls compared to the bodies. There's organs as well. So really beautiful stuff, and the flowers are really well done. Oh, here's one with gems in it, like gems coming out of the mouth. Can you look at me in? Yeah, I'll throw it in our Discord so you will remember. Yeah, they're beautiful. Oh shit, this one has squid water. Here's feathers and a couple butterflies. Really beautiful stuff. So yeah, I'll throw it in once I finish up here, which is basically now, because I'm done the game. I don't want to trick people into coming in when I'm basically not playing the game anymore. But yes, so next stream is tomorrow. We got two actually split stream. We'll be playing our Ironsworn tabletop RPG that we've been playing on Wednesdays for a while now. And that happens at 8 p.m. So consider dropping in for that if you haven't watched it. I have a bunch of VODs on YouTube from the very beginning, from our premiere. I think my YouTube might be linked below. If not, message me and I will remember to do so. Things are very interesting in that game. And then shortly after, we'll be playing some Dragon Age. So that's tomorrow night. So consider dropping by if you like my content. Oh, and I will say, I didn't mention at the top, and I meant to, we got a new follower, Nahouse Hippoca. Nahouse Hippoca gave us a follow just before the stream. So thank you. Oh yeah, so these are called Witch's Prayer Reads, because they're in the 3, 5, 7, and 13 beads. Got a little. Unfortunately, I don't think it used real metal, so I actually get red and itchy when I try and wear this, unfortunately, which is too bad. I can't wear it, so I just kind of have it off to the side for prayer purposes. Oh, get it in your little baggie. All right, so that's it. That's our evening. I got a lot of other stuff to do too at this time. I got commissions and stuff. But I like the setup we've figured out here, so I may actually just change the graphics on this a bit, so it's not about yourself, the game. And yeah, so see you next time. Remember to hydrate. I did not do it enough. I should have done it between acts, because my throat is pretty dry now, especially with incense burning. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.